Do you know where it was going?
I do. We were going to win.
That's our question.
Yeah, we were supposed to really start winning, like small battles and then major battles. But yes.
And Juliet's that scene made me cry.
Oh,
I can't watch it.
I cried when I read it. Do you know I had to memorize that without thinking about it because you know, as an actor you don't want to get overly involved before you get on stage. So I had to just do it line by line. And I went in and Josh and I both, we did not rehearse, we didn't do anything because we just knew it's so tender and lovely. But it was a beautiful scene. Damon Lindelof he writes some of the most beautiful love scenes I've ever, and by love I mean actual love, not woohoo, but you know, like the good stuff. It was amazing.
Do you think you would ever want to do something else for an audience other than acting? Like a different, whether a different medium or not, but like
well, Chris says I should be director, producer, editor.
Yeah,
apparently, I'm pushy.
I feel like you have a lot of creative energy and you have a lot of ideas. And
I've been writing, but for an actor to say that they're writing is kind of like, really? So, but I have because I felt like there's things that I really would love to read that I'm not seeing.
Yeah,
and I'm really like, there's some stuff with like nanotechnology and some beautiful quantum physics and stuff that I'm fascinated by. And I would love to distill that in such a way that it becomes entertaining, but mostly.
Well, a lot of mainstream media isn't necessarily Hollywood glamorized. I feel like you could bring a different kind of experience.
I'd like to. I'd like to in something of an action role. I love women in action roles that are not the girlfriend, or not that there's anything wrong with that. How lovely to be a girlfriend. But I definitely like to drive the scenes. I'm very, I guess, selfish that way. It's fun for me. Well, it's fun. I mean, being almost 6 foot, I have a little bit of an advantage. You know, I can get in there.
I really got her sitting. I'm 5 feet tall.
You know my sister. She's so fun. She
For my neck.
I know. I wear heels this tall.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're my baby sister.
That's right.
Yes.
I have a specific question, a general question. One of the lost scenes, it was kind of near the end. You had a red shirt, I don't know exactly which one, but you kind of walked off into the forest. It was kind of, and you kind of put your hand on your stomach, and I've heard a lot of people ask if that was a verbal, am I pregnant sort of cue, or was you told to do that? Were you told to do that, or was that just something natural? Or
that day we were
that's
so
what it looked
upset.
like.
I don't think we were told to do anything because we had just found out that I was leaving the show, I think. So you know, I always thought that she and the idea of her being pregnant would not be alien to me, because I thought that that's where they were heading. I mean, they were so in love. So I think at the time it all just was so painful that it was that thing of just almost not being able to move, because that's where she's basically like, you know, we can't do this and you don't really love me, and you know, all those things. So yeah, but the idea of Juliet being pregnant, it certainly wouldn't surprise me. So if she were, I mean, she was all in. I mean, she left her sister, she left her life, she left everything to be with him. She thought, hello, haven't met you yet, Elizabeth. My son's coming. He's 6½, but he's super cool.
My general question was, you know, I guess in your acting training, it seems to me that a lot of people don't get the nonverbal part. And my wife said, why do you pick up Elizabeth Mitchell's nonverbal cues and you don't pick up mine? But
Chris?
I mean, it seems
when you make a pact when you get married, that you no longer communicate with your eyes.
well, I mean, a lot of the, you know, the cross smile, the forced smile is like, I don't know that I've seen anybody do a better forced smile, and I don't, has it come natural, or, I mean, some of those nonverbal things I think were why people really enjoy watching you act. I mean, I think that's a lot of, I mean, you know, it wasn't that you said fantastic lines and all, I mean, it's all the little things you added to, I mean, the looks of anguish are not, they're absolutely real, and you know, when the Burke guy got ran over, hit by the bus, and just things like, how the hell did that happen to me? I mean, just things like that. And I'm sorry. I mean, those kind of things. I mean, are not everybody gets it, I don't think, and you got it. So how did that happen?
That's a gorgeous compliment. I think as actors we get really nervous, and I think think I've been doing this for so long, I don't think I get so nervous, and I'm really happy to watch other people. I don't need to be the one talking. A lot of the joy of it to me is watching what everybody does, and I'm so affected by it. Maybe it's because I don't go out much, but I'm very affected by people at all times. In my life, I'm affected by people. I find people to be extraordinary to me and beautiful, and I'm just an odd duck. So that's if that's what you see, that makes me very happy that you liked it. Because people are odd. So that's good. I love watching people and working with really great actors. The first time I worked with Angelina Jolie, who I actually thought was absolutely lovely. It was just so much fun to watch her. Everyone's like, you were so in love with her. I'm like, what's not to love? So I think I have the extreme luck of being with people who are eminently watchable in many ways. But thank you. That's gorgeous. I want a copy of that tape so I can hear that call. I'll put it in my alarm.
We'll put it on your website so you can go grab the clip.
How does it feel? And I'll be like, oh, that's right. Good morning.
That would have been extra torturous trauma to have Juliet have been pregnant and then going down the well because your fertility doctor who couldn't successfully deliver on the island, you get pregnant and then you die. And that would have been an extra like, ugh.
Really sad.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Would you like to hear my David Shepard conspiracy theory?
Yes.
So flash sideways, Juliet and Jack had been married, and I think it's fascinating. They describe it as the most ideal situation for themselves.
Yeah.
And here they are, you know, Jack and Juliet, doctor, made more sense than doctor and con, and you were divorced, and yet you had a child. Now, a lot of people are confused. David Shepard never actually existed. He was a construct for Juliet and Jack. You know, my theory was Jack needed to prove he could be a good father in the ideal situation, and Juliet needed to not only deliver a child, but to have one herself, because she never met her nephew Julian, and because... You never heard this before?
No!
You're welcome. Just so you guys know, I've spent 6 years analyzing Lost online, so this is why I still have these things in my head.
This is so good, though.
So yeah, I feel like David was a construct, so you could satisfy that, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that Jack Shepard needed to prove that he was a better father than his own.
Well,
yeah, he was.
Yeah. He was such a good guy.
Yeah.
Such a great character. So, I mean, people had such whatever, but
yes.
the protagonist is always going to get a lot of
right. Well, in season 6, really, anything anyone thought about Jack, season 6 made him the hero that he was supposed to be. And in the pilot, originally, they wrote Jack Shepard was killed in the pilot episode, and ABC freaked out and said, oh no, the audience will turn against you. And think about nowadays, shows are cut so soon. I don't know how Lost would air right now. You know, how it would be received.
I don't know.
You know,
they
have a quick hook.
So fast.
Yeah, and that was an expensive 2-hour pilot.
Oh yeah, hugely.
Yeah,
it was at the time the most expensive they've ever done.
You didn't watch Lost until you were cast, right?
No, I watched the first season.
First season, and then you were pregnant.
Then I was pregnant, and it was all just too much for me. I needed like bells and fairy tales.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And then did you then know about the others when you got the script? Or
no, I didn't know anything about the tailies, you know, at all till like I watched the entire thing back to back.
Okay.
So people would come in, I was in my dressing room like, just hold on. So yeah, I didn't feel like but I did watch it very quickly. And it was fun.
We had one of the most iconic season openings in season 3 when there's this blonde woman we've never met before who's making muffins in a house.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, the last episode, you know, the hatch. And
yes.
And all of a sudden we're like, who is
Chris
this
and I are both, because we were such fans of the show, Chris and I were like, God, people are going to be like, am I in the wrong show?
That's exactly how we felt. It was very disconcerting.
I'm so angry right now. Who is this person?
He's burning the muffins and having a book club.
Yeah. I did so much that first season, and you know, the cast could have been, you know, it's hard for actors when they don't get to work, because Jorge didn't work for a couple weeks, and when I was starting, and they couldn't have been more generous. That was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Really
I think
lovely.
it's because they were sort of away from LA and Hollywood and already kind of an established family in Hawaii.
I just think they're good people.
They're good people.
Yeah. Good people and acting for the right reasons.
Right.
Which hope everybody does.
Right.
I mean, you're lucky to get to do it. 1%, right?
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Anybody?
Don't be shy. She's not.
I'm not. Well, I am, but not now.
Right.
I know you love to read, hence part of the fundraiser. Who are some of your favorite authors and why? Or genres, however you want to answer your question.
Love C.S. Lewis. I love Madeline Engel. I actually like Dostoevsky, but that's not, you know, food. I love playwrights, and right now I'm so completely into my thrillers because I keep trying to find a character that I'm in love with. So right now I'm doing We Child and Balducci and having a lovely time. I'm probably like 21 books in, and it's been a fun I've been enjoying it, really, and I'm completely captivated. I mean, you sit there and it's like watching a lovely show where the characters are so well drawn. So, I don't know, it depends on the month that you ask me. My bookshelves are a mix of things that people don't usually put on their bookshelves, and then some really nice chewy stuff. I like it all. And I don't try to like put the good stuff out. So that's good. I try to be really honest, although Barbara wants to. I'm like, I did read that. I liked it too. So, but I love reading since I was a dorky kid. You know, like it's a complete and total escape. I had a director one time who stopped. He was a reader like me. We both were just obsessive about it, and he stopped because he said that creatively he wasn't doing anything because all he was doing was reading. So, I think in time he wrote 3 movies and directed 2, and I was like, "How are you doing?" I saw him a year later. He's like, "I had to go back." So, it's just an escape, and I think as an actress, it's I don't know. There's a lack of judgment that comes when you read so many different protagonists, but so many different points of view. You stop being so judgmental and start seeing life from other people's perspective, and that helps a lot because the last thing you want to do is judge your character. You don't want to say no, you want to say yes. So it's interesting. But books are okay.
Yeah, does your son, has he shown any inclination to want to perform?
Yes. Yeah. He's hilarious. If he were here now, he'd be performing. He'll be here in like 20 seconds. But yeah, he did a science experiment. We did that thing where you put egg in vinegar and it turns to rubber. It's very cool. So he's 6 and a half, and he got up and he just told the story and how the experiment went wrong and how it went right, and he had the audience laughing and clapping and going along, and he talked about other people, and he's like, "All right, thank you very much." I mean, he was fantastic. And he's like, "Okay, hey everybody," you know. So Chris, like, he's lovely. He seems to have a definite gift for it. He always wants to be performing, and he wants to be in front of people, which is something I never wanted. Like, I would be very happy to be behind the wall. And talking a little bit.
You realize how funny that sounds.
I know it's odd. It's just, you know, as an actor you do other people's words, and that's what's always been so nice, is that there's a chance to be the voice for someone else's genius. True. And you get paid for it. but he does, I think. We sometimes discourage him. I mean, it's not always the easiest life, but and that you hate the idea of your child ever being rejected, and acting, you know, 95% of it is hardcore rejection of every possible thing about you at all times. So you don't want your son to go through that. But the flip side is you get to do something that you love, so it's his choice.